Hello everyone, this is Kerry Anderson. Hope you all doing well. In today's video, I'll be talking about 6 pathways to remove negative energy from your mind and the body. So if you like the video related to manifest power, I would like to request you all please to subscribe the channel, hit the bell icon or give thumbs up so that I will come up with more and more videos with lots and lots of information. So here we begin. Let's go. Negative is toxic to your entire system. So clearing negative energy is an important strategy on your journey of holistic well-being. Now here are 6 ways to remove negative energy from your mind and body. One of the Buddha's foundational teachings. So you don't have to worry about it. Negativity can make you feel heavy, dark, and gloomy, feel emotionally reactive and defensive, and view the world through a mixed filter of fear, anger, and paranoia. Since your mind and body are so deeply intertwined, mental and emotional negativity has a physical counterpart. Tense muscle, shallow breathing, increased blood pressure, elevated level of adrenaline and cortisol. All the telltale signs of the stress response are at work. Negative energy is a toxin to your system, and while you can often endure negativity in your mind and body for prolonged periods, even to the point of it becoming a fundamental trait of your personality, negativity ultimately does you no good. Therefore, becoming and staying free from negative emotions and energy is an important strategy on your journey of holistic well being. To begin the health line process, you will need to clear negative energy from your system in order to allow positive energy to thrive. Before identifying tools of cleaning or clearing negative energy from your mind and body, it's important to explore the sources of negativity in your life and why you can be so easily trapped by negative influences. Then it comes to sources of negativity. Any negativity experience begins in consciousness, meaning that it all starts with an evaluation, some form of psychological or emotional need is not met. And when that happens, the mind perceives the experience as falling short of its preconceived expectation. Therefore, any negative experience is essentially a negative interpretation of what has taken place. In reality, any experience has a neutral meaning. It's neither good nor bad. In any absolute sense, it's only for or your subjective and constructed understanding of the event that give it a positive or a negative evaluation. Now, another factor that complicate negative experience is what's known as the negative bias. The negative bias is the tendency of your nervous system to preferentially look for a negative experience, the bad news, or positive one, the good news. As counterintuitive as this seems, the negativity bias is a byproduct of millions of years of evaluation. It's a survival mechanism that taught you to favorably look for danger because by doing so, you could anticipate a threat and take preemptive steps to fight or flee, thus guaranteeing your survival. Those early hunter gatherers who were not inclined to be on the lookout for danger did not live long enough to pass that trait on to us. Unfortunately, the negativity bias is still very much a part of your brain and a nervous system. And although life threatening situations are relatively rare now, you may still look for and incline to the negative, often resulting in a pessimistic, distressful, and clinical attitude towards life. Then it comes to the first one. Make meditation a regular part of your life. Spending time in the stillness of meditation has a profoundly healing effect on the mind and helping to restore your entire system to balance and positivity. It does this in 3 crucial ways. The first meditation is the antidote to the stress response that's driven by excessive bad energy. Muscle tension is released, blood pressure and respiration are lowered, stress hormones are minimized, and the fight or flight reactivity is down regulated through meditation. Second, meditation helps you to witness your thought rather than being caught up in an interpretation or evaluation. By witnessing your thought as they come and go, you interrupt their stream before a negative interpretation is able to take root in your mental garden. Third, by repeatedly entering into the field of pure consciousness, the negative evaluation in your awareness and are washed away, releasing their hold on you. Like rinsing a dirty cloth in a stream, the negative mental impression are eventually lifted, returning the cloth to an immaculate state. Then, second part, practice pranayama exercise. Yogic breathing exercise are powerful way of negative energy cleansing in both mind and body. While any of the classic yogic breathing exercise will be beneficial in helping to clear negative energy blockages, two techniques in particular is the bellows breath, that is called Bhastrika, and its cousin Kapalbhati, shining breath, are very helpful in mobilizing the flushing the bad energy out of your system. Bhastrika breathing is an invigorating breath that energizes the body and generate an internal heat that can be thought of as a way to increment the negative stuck in our body. Then it's coming Kapalbhati breathing can be used as a technique to expel the ashes of the burnt up negative energy from your system. Then it comes to the third part. Get out into nature. Nature therapy is a powerful tool to scrub the negative energy from your mind and body. The purity of nature often creates a system reboot that helps uninstall negative from your mental hard drive. When embracing the beauty and majesty of a mountain range, an old growth forest, the ocean, or a midnight star field, it becomes very difficult for negative energy blocks to maintain its hold on your awareness. Then it comes to move your body. Negative energy loves inertia and lethargy. Like a black hole collapsing in on itself, the negative mindset wants to suck you down into oblivion. One surefire way to break out of the downloads spiral is to get up and move your body, whether by performing some yoga asanas such as sun salutation, going for a brisk walk or a run, or another form energetic movement. Vigorously moving your body help purge negativity from your system on several levels. Then first, it activates your subtle energetic system when negative impression often gets stuck. When the power is flowing without interference, the negativity begins to break up. Second, with an increase in respiration and circulation, toxin such as residual stress hormones get flushed out through deeper breathing and sweat. Third, during energetic physical activity, your body need for increased oxygen overrides any negative subtext that might try to drag you down. In other words, it's hard to stay focused on the negative when your heart rate and breathing are at a higher pace. Then it comes to go complaint free. Complaining is one of the ways negative energy sustains itself in a perpetual emotion cycle. When you have focused on negative emotion, you complain about things more. You pay more attention to what irritates you, which make you feel more negative, and you complain again. It's a never-ending feedback loop of cribbing and grievances. The simple truth is this: complaining really does not solving. If you have constructive advice of how something can be improved, great. If not, you are the only adding another layer to the surface of negativity in the world. Chronic complaining are really a symptom of a close relative of negativity, self-pity. It keeps you locked in a perpetual state of poor me and not having to take responsibility to your day. You no need to worry about it. When you commit to going complaint free for a day or two or even a week, it has a profound effect on the free floating negativity you harbor in your consciousness. Negativity feeds on complaints and grips, and when you stop complaining, you begin to starve your negativity of sustenance. Absolving from complaining does two important things for you. The first, it reframes your mindset. Okay, you stop seeing everything out there a wrong. Instead, you see it in a neutral event that you assign meaning to. Then it comes to the second part. It empowers you to be conscious interpreters of your reality, whereas complaining implies that you must find a way to change the outer world. You can recognize that when you can't change the external world, which is often the case, you can change your interpretation to the situation, free yourself from its negativity influence over you. Then it comes to sixth part. Smile often. Although you may think of smiling as a simply sentimental or aesthetic activity, there is still magic in your smile. You know that a smile is contagious to other, but because every cell of your body is eavesdropping on every other cell, a smile is not localized just to your face. Every time you smile, a unique cocktail of neuropeptides are released that help to fight off the effect of stress, lower blood pressure, and act as an overall mood filter. Naturally, these effects make it difficult to sustain a negative mood. Consider the face of a chronically negative person. It's not likely they often beam or a great smile. Instead, or indeed, it's likely the exact opposite: of frown, scowl, and perhaps even a glare, but not a smile. That's all about the manifest in this video. I hope you all liked it. I will definitely come with the next video with my another content. Till then, God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.